Welcome, everyone. So glad to see you today. Thank you for joining us for our quarterly concentration Zoom gathering, The Power of We and the Radical Imagination of Murshid Sam, as we have our community collaboration celebration of the founder of the Dances of Universal Peace. So we come together during this very important, auspicious time and to gather together to feel our collective strength and unity, to feel compassion, to feel our sense of belonging, and knowing that coming together, that our community is really the antidote to despair and sadness and all of the various tragedies that we see around us at this time. So this is how we can come together and feel a sense of hope and feel a sense of healing and belonging. So I want to say a big thank you to all of our presenters. We have presenters from all over the United States today. We never exactly know how our gatherings will evolve, which is such a beautiful experiment for us of living into this idea of radical imagination. We're inviting in whatever wants to come forth. And so I'm grateful for our presenters. We have Yasmin Haut in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, joining us. We have Genis Schmidtlock, who is in St. Charles, Illinois. And Genis is also a member of the DUPNA Next Gen Council. So just want to make a note of that. And we have Reverend Judith Nuran Elia in Palm Bay, Florida. We have Robin Schnitzler and Michael Hopwood in Madison, Wisconsin. We have Hayat Bain in Richmond, Virginia, who is also serving as our tech host today, and so grateful for Hayat's support. We have Tajali Tolan, who is also the president of the DUP North American Board, and also Ted Ryle, who is our secretary. And unfortunately, I'm so sorry to say, I'm realizing I didn't put his name on our opening slide, so I apologize, Ted. So before we say our invocation together, I just would like to invite us to, if we can, go into gallery view for a moment. And I'm not sure if you have to remove my spotlight, Hayat, but just taking this moment to just be present with every single person who decided to be here with us today, to join our circle. These are the friends that we've decided to co-create together. Knowing that we are all a part of this chain of strength, that we are unified through this beautiful practice that we all love so much and that brings so much to our lives. So after you've had an opportunity to just share the gaze through our little box and just touch on each person, now I invite you to just sit back in your seat, however you find yourself. And closing your eyes if you're comfortable. Feeling your feet on the ground. Feeling this base of support, which is our practice, which is our community, and centering into that. Taking a moment to envision yourself in a bubble of light. And as you're sitting here and breathing in and breathing out, feeling into the color, the edges of the bubble, and just noticing and seeing if you can expand that bubble of light or make it shine just a little bit brighter through the breath. Just giving the outline of the bubble your full attention. And allowing yourself to bring it in or expand it, whatever feels right and good in this moment. And when you feel good, you feel like you're in a good place with your own bubble, just beginning to envision the other people on this call and their bubbles of light, as if we're all sitting together with our bubbles of light. And feeling that chain of unity and strength that we form together. Trusting and knowing that we can face whatever comes before us if we do it together. And magnify our lights together. Taking a deep breath in together and releasing it. Another deep breath in and envisioning our step forward in the circle. And another deep breath in and saying together, toward the one. The perfection of love, harmony, and beauty. The only being. United with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. I'm going to invite you to go back to speaker view. And I'm wondering, Hayat, could we spotlight, Tajali, and let's say that invocation again and watch her with her sign language.
And join me if you know it.
Toward the one. The perfection of love, harmony, and beauty. The only being. United with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. Amen. So I'll pass now to Tajali.
Hello, everyone. I am reporting in the resonant field from Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm usually from Montana, but I'm in a recovery mode. And oh, what a gift we are all here together. And what a gift that Murshid Samuel Lewis gave us and gave the world through his listening deeply to the seed of God that is within him and his radical imagination. I pondered this as our theme is radical imagination from the last several quarterly concentrations. And it inspires me, as does Murshid Sam, that in this world today, the one view can easily bring the energy field down. whether news or social media, but we have an opportunity to use our imagination and our heart that is so massive, and our resonant field, to create new experiences of peace within ourselves, within our community, through our dances. And I've thought about this often. I don't think Sam Lewis imagined we would be where we are right now. Like, maybe he saw it. I know Hazrat Nai Khan could see things in the future, so I won't be presumptuous that he didn't, but I still think about those seeds of imagining that when we have a spark of insight, we don't really know how it's going to grow and co-create together. So that's our inspiration for the radical imagination of peace. And the song that I want to share with you is The Seed of God. The seed of God grows into God. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. That's a melody from Murshid Sadi, brought it through, as well as another member from Germany, and I'm forgetting his name, but the song and dance is inspired by Master Eckhart, who was a 13th century mystic and who was late in his life asked to leave his religious community because he said God is a seed within. God lives within every single one of us, and that it's a seed that is the potential of growth. When I work with children, I will often bring in a seed and give it to them and say, this is you. This is all of you, that when we plant it and water it and give it nurturing, that it grows into that which it is. I'm usually using nasturtiums because they grow fast and they bloom beautifully. But then asking them, and I'm asking you, what is it that you need to nurture the seed within you? What will help you grow? And as a lesson for children, I ask them, what do humans need to be nurtured? And so they'll say kind words and holding hands and hugs and many things, which is really such a beautiful and simple answer to what we need to connect and grow ourselves. So I'm going to lead the dance in a creative way. I can't move. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm in a chair, but I'm in a wheelchair healing from our bodies. And as I watched the dances grow over the last 35 years, we have different abilities with our bodies, or we've had to find ways of connecting on Zoom. And so the ways that we would hold our hands in a circle isn't exactly, and certainly in this moment, the way it is. And so I'm going to ask you to imagine yourself first in a circle. All of us here together, and we have 40 of us together. What a beautiful big circle. We're going to do one big circle and invite you to feel your feet on the ground. Use your imagination. You may close your eyes and feel your hands holding a partner next to you. Your left hand is up, receiving. Your right hand is down, giving. And feel that energy of you in the circle with these 41 other beloveds. Breathing and feeling yourself as a seed. What is growing? What aspect of God is growing in and through you? So the movements of this dance, keeping that concentration, will move to the right. and then let yourself go. We'll turn to the right and then turn to the left. And if you don't want to turn, you don't have to. And then we'll repeat that going to the left. The seed of God grows into God. Let yourself go, letting go, turning. And that will be the first cycle. I'm going to sing it 3 or 4 times. And then I'm going to pause and share the next level of, or sing it twice. And then I'm going to share the next level of instruction for our imagination du jour. So holding hands, beginning on your right foot. The seed of God grows into God. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Going to the left. The seed of God grows into God. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Now, the next time we're going around, we would do this 3 or 4 times, but for our beautiful, perfect container today, we will pause here. The next level of the cycle is to take a partner. And sometimes people will hold partner of a butterfly, which is acceptable. But in this dance, the instructions are to reach your, so imagine you're standing with a partner and smile at them, and then reach your left hand forward and take their left hand and curl your thumb up together, and then your right hand forward, taking their right hand. And then as you begin to turn, you slightly lean back. And it creates this ventricle vortex of magic. So, and if that wouldn't be possible in your human body, and you say, I don't want to spin like that because it would make me dizzy, then you can use your imagination. So we'll do that now. Taking hands, walking to the right. The seed of God grows into God. Take your hands with your partner. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Taking hands, moving to the left. The seed of God grows into God. Take hands. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Taking hands, going to the right last time through. The seed of God grows into God. Turning freely. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Let yourself go. Let God be God and you, coming together, holding hands in the circle, coming into the circle. The seed of God grows into God. Holding hands, feeling the divine heart and imagination with each seed in the circle. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Let yourself go. Let God be God in you. Amen. Svaha, grow, be nourished. I am going to pass the beloved baton to Genis.
Thank you, Tajali. That was absolutely wonderful. And I've already thanked Tajali a lot, but I thank her for her mentorship. As the two of us were practicing this song together, I shared with her my imagination or inspiration and sharing this with children in any school setting, whether it's public school or Montessori school or homeschooling, and in situations that the school or the teachers may not be comfortable in using the word God. And originally I thought of using the word change, and change is a wonderful word as well. And yet through my mentorship and conversation with Tajali, she questioned and was curious about the essence of the song and how change isn't a constant, kind of like God is. And so I thought about that, and she even used the word love in our conversation yesterday. And then this morning, as I was practicing, the word love came so strongly through as a seed of love, and how first and foremost, we need to love ourselves and really provide that love to ourselves. And then through loving ourselves, we can love the we, the with, the others, the us. And so this practice that I share with you today is to encourage you to use your imagination of what seeds you hope to grow. And so it's also the reminder that when we are inspired and to create, whether it's variations or words, depending on if we're in different situations than a traditional dance circle, to really work with our mentors, work with other dance leaders, to really embody the essence of the dance and how the dance was originally created. And so if you are inspired and to use your imagination to share additional forms, make sure you've had that conversation and really hold that essence within. And so I'm incredibly grateful for Tajali's guidance and conversations and reminders for me to do that as I share this with all of you. Also, as we were talking about this, is this idea of seeds. What seeds do we want to create? And so it's really interesting in this medium as we use Zoom, even though we are all being able to see, or at least most of each other, we can't hear each other, we can't sing together. So if you are inclined, what feels nourishing for you, or I encourage you to think about what seed would feel nourishing to you. What seed do you want to grow in this world? And if you would like to use the word love, if that word feels nourishing, please do. If you want to continue to use the word God, please use that as well. And so this allows the opportunity, especially when we teach this to children, is for them to also think about what words are the most nourishing for them and what words they hope to grow. And so we will sing the same melody, but the movements are a little bit different. So once again, when teaching this with children, I have them use their imagination and imagine that they are a seed. So if you're sitting down and you just kind of want to hunch over, I like to actually, if I'm standing up, pretend like I'm a seed on the ground. And so really imagine you are that seed. What would you like to grow? And so as we sing this song, we grow. So a seed of love grows into love. And then the let yourself love. So instead of let yourself go, or you could use whatever words are inspiring and nourishing for you. I've just repeated the word love again and again, just to remind ourselves of the love for ourselves as we begin with the love for ourselves, and then we'll share the love with us. And so for this is kind of Taja is in the song, and I can't remember if that's maybe the third, is the free movement. And so really allow your seed to grow and to move however you would like to share with the world. And so when doing this with children, if I'm with older teenagers or tweens, they're usually looking to your friends. They're looking to their friends to see if their friends are dancing. They might just stand still. But the younger children will dance so beautifully and without worries. So I encourage you to imagine that inner child of yourself to really dance freely, whatever feels the most nourishing for you. So this, I hope for you, offers you an opportunity to use your imagination of the seeds that you would like to grow in this world. So, what we'll sing is, or what I will sing, and you can choose to sing with me, is "A seed of love grows into love. Let myself love. Let love be love in me." And we'll sing that 3 times. And then we'll say, "A seed of love grows into love. Let ourselves love. Let love be love in us." I tried to use "we" doesn't sound as well as good as the "us" in this particular case. So it's this us that we are sharing with the world. A seed of love grows into love. Let myself love. Let love be love in me. Let myself love. Let love be love in me. A seed of love grows into love. Let myself love. Let love be love in me. Let myself love. Let love be love in me. A seed of love grows into love. Let myself love. Let love be love in me. Let myself love. Let love be love in me. Us. A seed of love grows into love. Let ourselves love. Let love be love in us. Let ourselves love. Let love be love in us. A seed of love grows into love. Let ourselves love. Let love be love in us. Let ourselves love. Let love be love in us. Last time. A seed of love grows into love. Let ourselves love. Let love be love in us. Let ourselves love. Let love be love in us. Let us all imagine and bring the seeds of love into this world. And always remember that love begins within as we share it with all those around us. Amen. So now I introduce Hayat Bain from Richmond, Virginia.
Thank you, Genis. I heard this song and it felt like a perfect um, song for us to hear. And I have a cold. I thought about singing it myself, but my voice isn't in great form right now. And so I hope you'll appreciate this video as much as I do about Honoring the Dark by Lee Morris. And I thought I would take a moment before I share the video where she's amazing. She sings all the parts, and then she also does the sign language of the song. So the words are in the chat also, but honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. As the butterfly slips from her dark cocoon, as the evening sky reveals the light of the moon, sometimes fear surrounds us, sometimes there will be pain. Let the darkness heal you until only love remains. All right. I think that's enough because I think the video speaks for itself. So hold on just a second.
Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark as you do the light. Receive the gifts that come to us by day and by night. I choose to honor the dark, uncertainty and change. Deliver us from fear until only love remains. Honor the dark.
So we're turning it over to Yasmin Haut in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. You and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
So, hello. So what is most interesting to me about these meetings that we're having is the idea of radical imagination. I'm so happy Tajali and Jen emphasized that. It's been my passion probably since the early 20s that we need to radically reimagine everything. Everything that we've come to learn maybe needs to be unlearned. Information, which is useful for us, has informed us, has created these formations that allow us to receive the gifts of the world and to understand them and organize them in ways that are astounding. Paintings, music, dances of universal peace. And everything must continue to grow and evolve and allow for the moment to inform it about what its next place in the world if it intends to be useful. So this radical reimagining is, I think, vital to the longevity of this amazing message of love, harmony, and beauty. And so with you, I'm holding that in my hands, and I'm listening for the inspiration that will guide me to take the next step. Like Jen said, I don't know exactly where I'm going, but I know that there's something inside of me that is asking me to use everything that I've been given as gifts and talents and mistakes and joys and suffering to contribute to the more beautiful world that we all know is possible. So in 2016, a number of us felt like we got rolled over by a tank. Not that I really know what that's like. My forgiveness for those of us who have been. So that in 2020, when we were preparing for the election, a number of us felt that it would be useful if we kind of gathered each other and we were perhaps a little more capable of recognizing this power of resilience and the seeds that were embedded in us in order to not react, but respond from a place of love, harmony, and beauty. So we started our election vigil back then. And what we did was for a number of weeks before the election, we would meet on a Tuesday evening. I would generally prepare a slideshow, Diane Shafia, Diane Olden, there were a number of you and some of the people here in the Peace Bridges community would contribute, and we would chant and we would share and we would hold each other up. And then actually during the election, 24 hours before the close of the election, through the evening when all the polls closed, we held a 24-hour vigil, and some of you, again, were a part of this. All through the night, someone carried the light, and the light was very important as an image for us through that. And whenever any of us got upset or wondered what was happening or felt their heart aching, you could tune in to someone who was holding the light for 24 hours during that vigil. And I found that, for me, it was most useful. And I think for a number of us, there were 90 people on the vigil. At any one time, there were probably 30 to 45 people. Throughout the middle of the night, people were in and out, and throughout the next day. And then in 2020, we had quite an event in January of 2021, and we decided to carry the vigil until the actual inauguration, which we did again this year. So all of that is to say, I mean, I have materials and ideas around this particular event that Peace Bridges and my community here offered, but, and I'm happy to share any of that with you, of course. I'm very happy to let you know and share the materials that we've developed. But in part, I feel my passion is to kind of be a part of what you're doing, and that is to radically re-envision the way the message that Inayat Khan was picked up by Samuel Lewis, by many of you, and it's the same message that many other teachers and prophets and pets and sunsets and delicious meals have given us to inspire us for the next step. We need to re-envision the world of love, harmony, and beauty. We have the seeds in us, and I believe that together, just the last image I'll share with you. I've been aware, as all of us are learning about this amazing network of seeds and roots and mycelium underneath the surface that is supporting and feeding and warning and alerting and enjoying each other under the surface, is maybe what we can picture under the snows, those of us who have snows, those from Florida to Colorado, maybe Madison has snow. Underneath all of this that we see in the outer world, we are connecting and preparing for a new radical reimagining of what we're going to give birth to, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. So thank you so much. And I think, Jen, you're going to take us through some of the kalima.
So myself and Robin and Michael will be offering this next piece, and we just invite you to be present in this moment and receive this offering in the ways that feels most nourishing for you. La ilaha illallahu, la ilaha illallahu, la ilaha illallahu, Muhammad Rasulallah, Muhammad Rasulallah.
The Calling of the Peace Dancers. Samuel Lewis walked through worlds of silence and sound, a seeker who spoke to no one but to everything. He asked not for answers, but for a deeper way to listen. He heard the songs of the earth, the chants of the stars, the silent hum of unity. And he knew there could be no peace without the voice, no peace without the movement, no peace without the heart's full engagement. And so he called them together, the dancers, the singers, the ones who knew the language of the body, the ones who held prayers in their tongues, a melting pot of sounds, a chorus of the world's sacred breath. He invited them to join the circle, where feet would turn, where hands would lift, and voices would rise in harmony, not to worship, but to remember. For in every dance there was a song, in every song there was a dance, and in every breath a prayer. From the Sufi zikr, the Buddhist mantra, the Hebrew Kaddish, the Christian hymn, the Hindu bhujan, the chants of all peoples flowed freely, the worlds of the mystic traditions echoing through the air like a single river of sound. La ilaha illallah as bodies spun, Om Mani Padme as voices swelled, Shema Yisrael as hands reached for the sky, Hare Krishna as feet touched the earth, and Allahu Akbar as souls surrendered. Each word held 1,000 meanings, each gesture 1,000 stories, and in that moment the distinctions faded. No longer Christian, no longer Muslim, no longer Jewish, Hindu, or Buddhist, but one sacred people, dancing and singing the same truth. And now each dancer, each singer holds their own unique call. A woman in Paris chanting a prayer for peace. A man in Cape Town spinning to the rhythm of love. A child in Tokyo singing the words of ancient wisdom. Each one hearing Samuel's call in their own voice, in their own body, and feeling it echo in the hearts of all who gather. Some call to heal, to find wholeness in their movement, to let their bodies become the prayer, to let their feet speak the language that words cannot capture. Others call to remember, to speak the names of the divine, to chant the sacred syllables that open the heart, that open the spirit, and bring all beings closer to the source of all being. Still others call to unity, to a world where divisions dissolve, where differences are honored but never separate us, where we are not bound by dogma, but by the sound of the sacred breath, moving together in joy, in peace, and in love. The dances of universal peace are not just movements, not just songs, they are living prayers. Each dancer, each singer is both one who prays and the prayer itself. For Samuel Lewis knew that the world would never find peace in rhetoric, in laws, or in borders. Peace would come when we joined together in the sacred circle, when we sang with one voice, moved with one body, when we held the world's wisdom not as separate teachings, but as a living, breathing hymn to the unity that is always already here. And now the call continues, echoing across the earth, a pulse that cannot be stopped, through cities and deserts, across oceans and mountains, the dances go on, sung, chanted, and danced by the hearts of those who know that peace is not a place to reach, but a place to be. For when we sing and dance together, we are reminded we are all part of this eternal prayer, woven in the fabric of the divine. We are the circle, and the circle is always whole. For in every dance, there is a song, and every song, there is a dance, and in every breath, a prayer.
La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulallah, Muhammad Rasulallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulallah, Muhammad Rasulallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulallah, Muhammad Rasulallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulallah, Muhammad Rasulallah.
So I'm going to pass the baton, the beloved baton, to Robin and Michael to share a little bit more about this beautiful poem.
Thanks, Jen. So the poem is called The Calling of the Peace Dancers. And in case you're curious, the music that you heard Michael playing was another Sam dance song called the Zikr Devotional Dance. So I took the radical imagination theme kind of to heart, and I started with the phrase, I wonder if, and I actually created this poem with the help of artificial intelligence. So I used, the ideas that we've been talking about, radical imagination, the power of we, and, the idea that we're honoring Samuel Lewis. And it was a really interesting process. This is probably like the fifth permutation, because you work with AI and figure out what's happening. And it actually helps. I found that it helps to kind of elevate what's important. So it was a really interesting process. And what you heard was the outcome of that. So next up, we have Ted Ryle from Olympia, Washington.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks so much for the beautiful poem. Yes, greetings and lovely to be here with all of you from the southern tip of the Salish Sea, Olympia, Washington, and the South Puget Sound. I was at an event last month, and in one of the sessions of the event, we spent a couple hours in walks, and we were walking in the spirit of a number of the beloveds who have gone before us, who have been leaders of the dance, leaders of the practices that we all cherish, and it was really potent. And as that session was concluding, the leader of the session, I think it was just a spontaneous, I don't think it was planned. He just started to play this song. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ya Salam. And that moment, I think all of us were familiar with it. All of us knew the moves and the spirit of Almighty Peace. And the experience I had in that moment, it was bringing tears to my eyes because it was such a perfect dance of love, harmony, beauty, and power. I mean, I was feeling the power source in that circle, and the essence of Allahu Akbar and the spirit of Samuel Lewis and the saying, peace is power. And the meaning of Allahu Akbar, that it's incomparable greatness or vastness. It's unrestricted expansiveness. It's the infinite nature of God beyond what our rational minds can even kind of capture in words. And it really stuck with me, and I was inspired to share that dance with a group of young men. So these were all young men in their 20s, and it was in a secure carceral facility. So these were young men who were incarcerated. We'd done a couple of other dances that had a pretty Jalali spirit to it. There wasn't any hand holding or anything, and they were kind of grooving on it. And I was curious how they would respond to this because it was a different energy, and it was beautiful in an entirely different way. And it's just, these are just a couple of memories that are more than I can count of memories over the last 25 years since I was introduced to the dances in our interfaith community that also meets in a circle and dances regularly. And I just feel so incredibly blessed to have them in my life, to be able to offer them to the world, share them with each other. Um, they've blessed me in a number of ways, and I see them blessing other people similarly. And we wanted to just take a opportunity for a few minutes for folks who are so moved to share some of your memories, just some of your favorite memories, particularly potent memories, surprising experiences. Just an opportunity for us to share. And you can either you can raise your hand, you can chat it in, and we could call on you if you like, or if you just wanted to chat it in, feel free to do that. But this is an opportunity to share your voice with a moment or a story about an experience with the dances. I see Peter has his hand raised. Please, Peter. Thank you.
Peter, I just asked you to unmute.
There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, people. This is very lovely. It brings back a lot of good memories. I actually first started with the dances with Samuel Lewis in San Francisco in 1970. So this is really lovely. The only thing that's really coming through to say is a saying he used to say to us. He said, spirituality is the ever-increasing capacity to experience joy and sorrow simultaneously at the same time. No cold feet and no empty stomachs. God bless you all.
God bless you, and thank you very much. Who else would like to share a story of your experience with the dances?
I see Deborah has her hand raised.
Thanks.
You can unmute, Deborah.
Hello, can you hear me?
You're very soft.
Let me move to a different location. Can you hear me now?
It's still very soft.
How about now?
Can you turn up your volume?
Slightly less soft.
Okay, I'm going to speak very loudly. Hello and blessings to all. I teach music in a Waldorf school, and one time I went in and their class guinea pig had passed away the weekend before. And I walked into the classroom, and there is a song that I believe Shivadam Burke in Phoenix created. And it's about life and death, a beautiful song with Ya Salam. And I shared it with a group of second graders who had just lost their guinea pig. And it was just a very special moment, like very synchronistic and unexpected to walk into a dead class pet and had the opportunity to share a beautiful dance and song with them. And then we took that deceased beautiful class pet and buried it together up in the woods. I hope you could hear all of that.
Yes, thank you very much. Ayesha?
Whoops. Hello.
Hi.
Gosh, I feel like I'm sitting here with all of you people. It's wonderful. Uh, and it's sunny in Portland. Yay. I'll try to be, I will be concise. I'm at a point in my dance leading and dancing that I'm not doing much of it these days. I'm not doing much leading. I'm, you know, I've got internal things, I've got other things happening, but the dance is always within me. And recently, I did offer a dance to a group of ours, and it was an old dance that I had first learned many years ago, and you know, uh, the transmission was strong in me, or I felt that anyway. And as I was leaving the gathering, a lovely friend and dancer and whatever else attached to those, the whatever labels we put. A friend came over to me, and I was putting my shoes on, getting ready to go out, and she said, I looked over at you when you were leading, and I just cried. And I looked at her, and I took that in, and I paused, and I thought, oh, wow. And I said, that is so beautiful that you said that to me. Thank you. I don't think any of us, well, I can speak for me. I don't lead dances to get accolades and feedback. And yet that night when that beloved said that to me, I wanted to cry, and I feel like crying now, but it's just, we do these dances and they are inside of us, and we get a chance to share that joy and sorrow in public. So we do our work in public. That's what I've been told for years. But thank you. And I will jump off the Zoom or jump off.
Thank you so much. Hayat.
Yeah. I know this happened a number of times. I've been to 3 of the parliaments of the world's religions, and this has happened. Other people have related this too. But this one particular instance of someone from a particular religious tradition that's not Christian happening upon us doing a dance in another language like Arabic or Hebrew, and just becoming like very emotional and very excited. And I was thinking of this one Jewish couple that were a little bit older at the 2023 Parliament of the World's Religions in Chicago, and they just walked up right next to me. I was like taking some photos and stuff of the circle, and it was one of our pop-up dance circles, and they just were like amazed. I wish I could remember what dance we were doing, but it was in Hebrew, and they knew the words, and they just got tearful and were very excited. And it's just so beautiful to see that in people who come to those events where people are from all over the world. And even if they're not all over the world, they're from their corner of whatever their culture is, and it can be so moving in our culture that's so often centered on a particular paradigm of how to see the world, and particularly Christian and particularly white and particularly privileged and all these other things. So it was really great to see that kind of a feeling that someone had of being honored.
Thank you. Is there one more person who would like to share?
I can share.
Thank you.
So it was 30 years ago this month that I walked into a dance circle in Boulder, Colorado. Many of you know Scott Medina. He was the only person I knew who lived there at the time. And he's like, hey, there's this thing going on that you might want to check out. We might have said something more than that, but it was kind of like that. And I walked in and I felt completely like immersed in like amazingness between the energy and the songs, and I didn't even know what hit me, and it was my start, and I've been joining the circle ever since.
Thank you. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ya Salam. I'm going to pass the beloved baton to Reverend Judith Nuran from Palm Bay, Florida.
Wow. You have brought tears to my eyes, not just tears, but you have opened my heart to weeping. I'm going to weep right now. I've just been back a couple of weeks from Palestine, and I have felt exhausted and numb. And so I'm forever grateful to this group. Every time I'm with you, you open my heart and you heal me. And I wanted to bring you the story because it represents who you are to me. And I was in Bethlehem for Orthodox Christmas, and I decided that I would participate in every kind of ceremony that I could. So I started at 5 o'clock in the morning with the Orthodox Greek tradition, right at the place where Jesus was born, in the basement. And it was kind of funny because I really didn't know they were Orthodox Greek. I was raised Catholic. And so I put my hands out for the communion, and they knew, of course, that I wasn't Orthodox Greek because I would put my tongue out. And so they said, no, 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 you can't have communion, like at 5:30 in the morning. But this woman was so touched that she snuck me a piece of communion. And so I didn't know what to do. I just kind of had to hold on to it and sneak it out and then have communion later. But there were so many experiences like that, where there were all these ceremonies going on, and they were all by men. They were thousands of processionals with men in fancy robes and holding candles of gold. And it just didn't do a thing for me. And I really went to a lot of different ceremonies: Methodist, Franciscan, Catholic. And then I found the Ethiopian church. And there was something about the Ethiopian people, the nuns and the priests, there was a light that drew me to them. And I started to do some research about them, and I found the Ethiopian Bible is the oldest known intact Bible in the world, that is carbon dated to less than 100 years after Jesus walked the earth, and maybe even while he was walking the earth, because they're not clear about whether 1 CE is actually accurate. So it's our oldest Bible, and it has a very different story, and I want to share it with you. So Eve was not created from Adam's rib, but from divine light itself. And both Adam and Eve were created from the best energy from all corners of the universe. And in Adam's eyes was the pure light of understanding. But when God made Eve, God reached way up into the sky and brought down the brightest morning stars and set them in her eyes. And Eve's pure light shimmered like the moon inside her womb. Her soul contained the wisdom of angels, and her body radiated a gentle light. Eve was given different gifts than Adam. Adam had great gifts, and Eve had gifts that were different. She could see things and understand things that Adam couldn't. She was a completely independent creation, and they were fully partners in understanding and loving life. When they fell from the Garden of Eden, it wasn't a one-time thing. It was a process of becoming mesmerized by the material world and their own ambitions and gradually losing touch with the divine qualities within them. But here's the good news. The spark of divinity within us from the beginning of creation, can never, ever be destroyed, because that's the essence of us. And even though there was a fall from grace, there's always a crack where you can see the reality. And it's our responsibility and our freedom to see clearly the divine light that is the essence of who we really are. And for me, and maybe we can put our gallery view on, it is so easy to see that the divine light is alive in this group, and that this group is giving birth to that light more and more and more and more in every moment, and sparking it in each other. So thank you. I love you.
I was just envisioning us passing a light to one another as we were on the gallery view, you know, just handing. So we could all do that. This would be a nice opportunity for a screenshot. Does anyone know how to do a screenshot? Because I am good with technology to a point. So just taking this moment, passing our light to one another.
I think I did get a screenshot. I just have a different computer than I used to have, so I think I did.
Thank you, Hayat. What an amazing, beautiful, rich, deep gathering. So grateful for all the presenters today who stepped forward to offer their gifts and shine their lights. I want to invite one final offering for us. We have a friend who emailed me from Japan just late yesterday, and we connected this morning, and I think it's overnight for him, but he has a poem that he would like to share, and his name is Edward Levinson. And so, Edward, I'm just so grateful for your offering and for reaching out. Can we spotlight? Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for organizers. Yes, it's for 5:30 in the morning. I've been up since around 4 o'clock. So just let me get my cameras out of focus here just a moment. Okay. Okay, that's better. So I've been doing the dances. I should say I have been. I was doing the dances. Sorry, just a minute. I keep popping all this. I was doing the dances for many years in Japan, around different places, and I'm sort of what you would call in Japan. There's something called the hidden Christians, where they had to go underground and practice their faith. I didn't have to go underground. Let's just say that I'm sort of a practicing in my own way. So we did classes for like 14, 15 years all around Japan, regular classes. So I also am a poet, and I belonged to a poetry group. And every weekday or every week, they have a word where they give you a prompt and you write a poem. And so I wrote this poem, and while I was writing it, or after I wrote it, I think very often of Murshid Sam and doing the dances in our daily life, in our every step, in our every movement. And so I'd like to read you this poem. It's might be a little bit humorous. I wasn't sure I was going to appear tonight, so I didn't have too much time to practice. Excuse me. It's called, the prompt for the poem was cosmic. And the title of the poem is Cosmic Trip. Can you make it a cosmic dance, going to the grocery store, knowing forevermore that it's a mystical chore? What will you eat? Who will you meet? Where will the food energy go? How will I know when it will show shining power of its power? The cosmic dance. Will you two-step it? A square foxtrot? Swaying country lines stepping? A melodic waltz? Better yet, circular dances of universal peace comes to my mind, has its own mystical purpose, like any cosmic trip to the grocery store. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Edward. So again, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who joined us today as a presenter. I'm wondering, could we put everyone on the screen? I'm sorry, Hayat, I keep having you spotlight and then do other things. So if we could put all the presenters on screen, spotlight them, and I'll try to help. And then we'll offer as a group our yafatahs. And Robin and Michael, where are you? There we are. It's like our own DUPNA Brady Bunch scene for me. So, offering so much gratitude for everyone who is here, for sharing their light today, and such a beautiful tapestry that was woven. Really amazing, especially given that we didn't, this really is an experiment and collaboration. We don't know how this will be. And so it's amazing that Spirit just brings forth the right perfect offerings. So let's offer a yafatah, 3 yafatahs to everyone on the screen. Yafatah. Yafatah. Ya Fatah. And want to say thank you to everyone for being present with us today. We hope that you found some nourishment in the gathering, and I'm removing spotlights, trying as fast as I can.
I know every time you do it, it moves and I can't.
I beat you to it.
I gave up.
I think we could have a oh, I can't. There we go. Did I get it?
Yep.
Can you put me back on?
Yes. Oops. Close enough.
So thank you so much, everyone. I just want to mention that we did finally put the final version of Robin and Michael's poem in the chat, so you can actually download that. Because so many people asked about it in the chat, we thought we'd work on it and get it in there for you to take away. But I will be sending out an email with the video link for today's gathering. And we do these beautiful Zoom gatherings quarterly every year around the season time. So our next gathering will be after the spring equinox. And so look for our email on the theme. And for anyone who would like to share an offering, you can feel free to email me and just let me know what your thoughts are, what you feel inspired by, and we'd love to have you present. You can be a dance leader, a musician, or not. This is open for everybody. So I think, as Yasmin shared, we're building this world together, and it takes all of our gifts. So we want to be collaborating with everyone and empowering the unique skills and gifts that everyone has in the circle. So we're so happy that you joined us, and I hope to see you again. I know Hayat put some links in the chat if you'd like to join our mailing list. If you're not on there already, we'd love to have you on there, or share with your circle or another friend. If you'd like to offer a donation towards the work of DUP North America, we would welcome that. And we are a 501c3, so it's a tax-deductible donation. And thank you, thank you, thank you. May we all find comfort and reassurance in our connection with each other during these times. What else can we say? These times. There's a lot that we're facing, and we know that we can hold fast to one another, hold strong to one another. So may we do that. So we will close today with may all beings be well, may all beings be happy, peace, peace, peace. And I'll again invite us to go to gallery. And when we sing peace, 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 you are welcome to unmute yourself, and we'll all sing together in our symphony of voices. So again, deepening into our connection to one another, to our practice, saying thank you to Murshid Sam for this beautiful tradition we share. Gathering up all the energy, all the prayers, all the love, and sending it out into the world. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. Peace. 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 Thank you so much, everyone. Till we meet again. May the circle be unbroken.
I forgot about the invitation to unmute on Peace, Peace, Peace. I guess we were just all in bliss.
Yeah, I'm muted. I love you.
You're welcome to say something if you'd like, friends.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you again for letting me have a chance to read. Sorry, my voice is a little froggy at 4:30 in the morning, 5:30.
Yeah, it was perfect, Edward. Thank you so much.
It's understandable.
You all for your offerings. I'm so glad I got to be here.
Thanks for coming, Emily. Good to see you.
Peace be
And-
with you all.
And
And all
is
of us.
it Aylin from Turkey?
Hi,
It's
Emily.
Eileen.
Eileen.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
She's in the
Thank you so much for opening this space. Thank you.
Safe
Beautiful.
travels, Jen.
Mashallah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, safe
Great
travels.
Spirit brought me here. Right at the right time.
Good to see you, Emily.
You all. So glad I didn't miss it. And have a beautiful day wherever you are.